Dr. Safira Acosta and I welcome you to the second part of my video on menstrual health and hygiene. Now, we had concluded the first part on a note where we were breaking the various myths revolving around menstrual health and hygiene. So, we had finished discussing about the first myth that says that menstruating women are impure and shouldn't be allowed to cook or shouldn't be allowed to enter temples or other places of worship. Now, the second myth that we are about to burst is that menstruating women shouldn't touch or make pickles. Now, this is an age-old myth which originates mainly in India. Now, what happens is that pickles is one item of food that needs to be made with a lot of precaution. Basically, you cannot have any contamination or dampness in the jar of pickles or else it will get spoiled. So now the idea behind a menstruating woman actually spoiling the pickle is, now see what happens especially when young females are unaware about proper menstrual hygiene. When the girl is handling the sanitary pads or napkins, there could be a possibility that some of the blood gets transferred to her hands. Now, as you know, blood is a body fluid, and like any other body fluid, like a saliva, discharge from your nose, or any other bleeding, body fluids basically attract germs. So, the same body fluid, that is the blood, that gets transferred onto the girl's hand could attract germs. And if in case this girl, by mistake, forgets to wash her hands properly with soap and water, and then goes into the kitchen and opens a jar of pickle, what could happen is the germs from her hand would get transferred into that jar of pickles. Over here, there's a high possibility that the jar of pickles will get contaminated by the germs and hence cause the spoiling of the pickle. So as you see, it is not the menstruating girl that is causing the spoiling of the pickles, but it is the germs on the contaminated hands that causes the same. So this thing can be avoided simply by following proper menstrual hygiene and washing your hands thoroughly after coming in contact with sanitary pads and napkins. Now coming to the third myth, which says menstruating women shouldn't be having a bath. Now this is a very wrong myth and is totally contrary to what menstrual health and hygiene is all about. Because having a bath is very essential to keep the body clean, hence avoid the transfer of germs, as we spoke about it earlier. So the myth that says that menstruating women shouldn't be having a bath is a very wrong concept. Instead, menstruating females should have a bath and keep themselves as clean and as hygienic as possible. Going to the fourth myth that says that menstruating women shouldn't have chocolates or lemonades because they can seize the flow or they can stop the flow of the period blood or the menses. Now again, this is not a right concept because the blood that comes out from the uterus mainly comes out due to the contractions that are present in the uterus which are under hormonal influence. So chocolates and lemonades should not be affecting the flow of blood. But yeah, I would always recommend you to have a nice nutritious diet during your menses and also otherwise. And having a nutritious diet is very essential for the overall well-being of ourselves. Now coming to the last myth, which says menstruating women shouldn't exercise. Now, as you are aware, the menstrual blood that comes out due to the contraction of the uterus. So, when you actually exercise, what happens is there's a lot of contraction and relaxation of the muscles. This in turn actually can alleviate any of the period cramping that is there and help the flow of blood out of the uterus to be better. So, exercise does not cause any harm in a menstruating female, but instead, it can actually help elevate menstrual cramps and help the blood come out better. Many unaware parents are concerned that see, my daughter is losing blood and she's weak and hence she shouldn't be playing or exercising. Now, the amount of blood that a female loses during one menstrual cycle, that is in all the days together, that could be from 3 to 7 days, is around say 50 to 80 ml, okay, of blood. Whereas, suppose you go to donate blood, okay, in one sitting itself, they draw out about 1 pint of blood. That is approximately say 500 ml. And after drawing out the blood, what do? They will just give you a coffee and maybe 2-3 biscuits. So if 500 ml of blood being drawn out of your body does not cause that much of an impact on your daily activities, then 50 to 80 ml of blood being lost over a period of 3 to 7 days is so negligible that parents shouldn't be worried that my daughter is losing blood and hence I should keep her at home and not allow her to go to play or exercise. Now, one thing that can be done to combat this blood loss is that the girl should have a lot of fluid intake. The water she drinks should be more than 2 liters per day, and the diet that she maintains has to be a very healthy and, more importantly, a balanced diet with the right amount of carbs, proteins, fats, and other minerals and vitamins. Okay, now these are the most common myths that I have come across, and I have tried to break them or bust them for you. Suppose there are any other myths that you have heard about and you want to confirm with me whether they are true or not, you can always leave a message in the comment section and I will definitely get back to you with it. With this, we complete answering 4 of our most important questions, that are why, what, when and who. Okay, now we will proceed and answer how.